All right, hey guys, we're starting back up with the review package and we're on question 19. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Um, Consider the expression below. We have 3x squared times 5x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay, so right now, let me just remind you guys about some vocabulary terms, right? So here we have, oops. We have what we call a trinomial, right? It has three terms, trinomial, that's being multiplied by a monomial, right? It has one term. So we're multiplying a monomial by another polynomial. So here we're going to have to be careful. We're going to be doing exponent laws. We're going to be doing simplifying. We're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, okay? So let's start off. 3x squared, 5x squared minus 2x plus 1. So remember, whenever you have something in front of a bracket like that, remember it's multiplication we're doing. So you have to remember that you're multiplying each and every single term inside the bracket by that 3x squared. Okay? You have to multiply each and every term. So when I'm multiplying 3x squared times 5x squared, I get 15x exponent 4, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. Then I have, okay, so now I have 3x squared times negative 2x. So that gives me negative 6x exponent 3. And then I have 3x squared times 1. Well, 3x squared times 1 is just 3x squared. All right, so there we go. We have letter D is our correct answer. All right, let's move on to 20. So simplifying again, okay, but this is really easy because, if we look at in front of both of our brackets, there's nothing there. And when there's nothing in front of our brackets, the brackets aren't really necessary. So I can actually just rewrite this as 4x minus 5 plus 2x plus 1. All right, and then I can combine my terms that go together. So the 4x and the 2x, those are like terms. The negative 5 and the positive 1 are also like terms. So I end up with 6x minus 4. D. Okay, 21. All right, so we have Shabita expands and simplifies the expression below. Which expression is equivalent to the one above? So again, we have to do some multiplying, some distributing, and then simplifying. Okay, so just gonna rewrite it like I always do. 3x squared minus 5x plus 4x, 7 plus x. Now, I actually draw these arrows because they help remind me to not forget what I'm doing. I have to multiply what's in front of my bracket by both terms inside my bracket. So I get 2 times 3x squared, that's 6x squared. I have 2 times negative 5x, that's negative 10x. Then I have positive 4x times 7, so that would be 28x. And then I have positive 4x times x, that's positive 4x squared. All right, then we clean things up, right? We combine the terms that we are allowed to combine. All right, so we end up with 10x squared plus 18x. Letter B happens to be the correct one here. 22. All right, simplifying again. Same deal. same strategy. 3x, 2x plus 3, all minus 5x. Okay, so again, I draw my arrows. They're fun to draw too. Kind of. Anyway. Okay, 3x times 2x, 6x squared. 3x times 3, 9x minus 5x. So we just clean it up a bit because these two terms are like terms. And we get 6x squared plus 4x d. Okay, 23. So again, we're simplifying the expression. So I have 2 times 3x plus 4 plus 3x minus 1. So I draw my arrows. Okay. And then I go to my next line. So 2 times 3x, 6x. 2 times 4, 8. Okay, moving on here. 3 times x, 3x. 3 times negative 1, minus 3. All right, so we end up with 6x plus 3x, 9x, and then plus 8 minus 3 plus 5. So 9x plus 5 is our final answer. All right, which of the expressions below is equivalent to 3 times 4x minus 5 minus 7 times 9x minus 2? Okay, the only difference to questions we've previously been doing is that we actually have a minus 7 in front of a bracket, whereas before we've always had positive numbers in front of the bracket. Okay, so let's see how that affects how we do our math. Okay, so 3 times 4x minus 5 minus 7, 9x minus 2. All right, so draw the brackets, draw the arrows, sorry. And first things first, we do 3 times 4x, 12x. 3 times negative 5, negative 15. Okay, well now, right, we just have to incorporate that negative sign here. So instead of multiplying by positive 7, right, everything in our second bracket, we're going to multiply everything by negative 7. Okay, so we're going to do negative 7 times positive 9. That is negative 63x. And then we're going to do negative 7 times negative 2. That's positive 14. Okay, you have to be very careful with the signs. Okay, finally we're going to combine our terms. So I have 12x minus 63x. I have negative 15 plus 14. So that leaves me with negative 51x and minus 1. Letter A. Okay, good. 25 more. All right, so again, we just happen to have a negative term in front of our brackets. Okay, so we just have to make sure we don't lose track of the negative sign because that's a really common mistake that happens. We just kind of forget that there's a negative sign there. All right, so we're going to do negative 5x times positive 4. Well, negative 5x, that's negative 20x. And then I have negative 5x times negative 3x. That's positive 15x. X squared, sorry. and then I have plus 2x squared. So last thing we do is we just clean it up by combining the terms that are alike. We end up with 17x squared minus 20x. And that is letter D. Good. Okay. 26. Which value of x satisfies the equation? 5 minus 2x equals 9. Okay, so notice we're talking about equations now, right? So instead of expressions, so equations now have that equal sign in them, right? That we weren't seeing before. So when we're solving equations, we're trying to isolate for x. So we have to use what's called inverse operations. Okay. So the first thing, right, again, the whole point of this is to get x to be alone. Okay. So we have to start by moving things away. And the first thing we have to move is this positive 5. Okay. And the positive 5 needs to be brought over to the other side of the equal sign. Now, when that happens, the positive 5 has to switch to its opposite operation. So even though there's technically no plus sign in front of that 5, it is technically plus 5 because it's positive 5. So when it moves over, it becomes minus 5 or subtract 5. Okay, so that negative 2x is still there. I haven't touched it, and it's just 9 minus 5. Negative 2x is equal to 4. Then, to get x alone, right, well, we know we just have to divide by negative 2 on both sides, because that will cancel out the negative 2 here, leaving us with what we want, x all alone, at negative 2. So x equals negative 2, which is G.